right, Fadalettes, let's talk about it. The Midwest said, hold my drink, and brought us a whole new batch of baddies. But, and this is a big but, not all baddies are created equal. Oh no, honey, some of these girls came to snatch wigs, while others, let's just say their baddie card might still be pending approval. So today, we're ranking these newbies of Baddies Midwest based on the full package. I'm talking about all-around baddest, because let's be real, what's a baddie without a little chaos? And that overall presence that makes you say, yup, she's the it girl. And fair warning, this is my world, my list, and my totally biased opinion. If you disagree, well, get in line, because I'm not here to sugarcoat anything, boo. Grab your popcorn, your tea, or whatever you need, because this ranking is about to be as extra as the baddies themselves. Stay tuned, stay fabulous, and let's get into it.
Hello?
All right, let's break it down. When it comes to ranking these newbies, I'm looking for the whole package, honey. Let's start with personality. Who's the most authentic, funny, or stands on business? Because, baby, if you're all around boring, you're already in the danger zone. Then we've got the drama factor. Who stirred the pot in the most entertaining way? Not just messy, but the kind of drama that keeps us entertained. If you're not bringing the heat, are you even on the right show? Next, let's talk about fashion and style. Who served consistent looks and had us gagging every episode? If your closet is giving clearance rack. Ciao. And finally, the big one, overall presence. Who dominated the screen, stole the show, and left us all saying, that's the baddie we'll never forget. It's all about commanding the spotlight, boo. And if you didn't bring it, well, you'll find yourself at the bottom of the list. So now that we got that out the way, let's see who's giving baddie excellence and who's just giving forgettable. Let's rank these girls.
Hold up, wait a minute. Side note. Mr. Lemon Pepper made it quite clear he does not like his content being reposted, so excuse the lack of videos being shown. Now let's get back to it.
Starting at the bottom, honey. At number 10, we have the baddie with a guaranteed spot on any list of very forgettable personalities. No one other than Miss Yoshi herself. Now listen. I wish I could add more to this baddie, but sadly, her presence was cut short. The show wasn't for her, and that necessarily isn't a bad thing, but it sure is not a good placement for this list. Sorry, babe, but you're starting at the bottom.
I mean, honestly, you're not going to really expect a lot. I mean, mentally, I wasn't prepared, so, you know, I don't know.
Coming in at number 9 is the baddie we barely see on our screen, but with those heavy lashes, I don't think she can see anything either. We have Miss Jaden Alexis. Now let me tell you, sis is giving nothing. She's barely on the screen, and when she is... But let's talk about the one moment that kept her from fading into total irrelevance, her birthday brawl with Biggie. Let's just say the fight was as underwhelming as it was sad. Jaden clearly thought Biggie was the weak link, but spoiler alert, she got. She looks high 90% of the time, which might explain why she seems so disconnected from the rest of the cast. Honestly, I have no idea why she's even on this show. Sorry, Jaden, but number 9 is where you're staying. At number 8 is the untouchable celebrity who walks around proudly with her imaginative high horse. We have none other than Miss Akbar Vive. Now let me just say, sis is out here giving I'm above all these girls energy, but baby, the reality? She's not even the biggest star on this show, and that's with her credentials in music. Let's talk about that moment with Diamond.
When I gave you a compliment, I said, hey, you did good tonight performing. You said to me, I'm a professional. I am. And nothing wrong with that. When I give somebody a compliment, I expect it.
It wasn't just Diamond who was thrown off, we all were. Akbar, honey, nobody knows your music. Sure, you were on a song with Nicki Minaj, but let's be real, it had 4 other features. You weren't exactly the breakout star. Now, I'll give credit where it's due. Akbar is talented in the booth. She can spit bars, no doubt. But on my screen, baby, she's a snooze. Sorry, Akbar, but that attitude isn't enough to carry you higher on this list. You're holding down the number 8 spot. Coming in at number 7 might be the girl riding the same delusional bus as Akbar. We have Miss Jasmine Renee. Now, I'll give credit where it's due. Jasmine definitely steps it up a notch in the looks and fashion department when comparing her to the other newbies. Jasmine is a loudmouth, and her mouth runs like a motor. But honestly, that's about as interesting as it gets with her. I will say that I like that she doesn't let anyone talk negatively about her. She stands her ground, and I respect that. But main character energy? Chai? She doesn't have it. Let's not forget, she was the second girl to get a baddie chain. But why? There are definitely other girls that stand out way more. And then, as if to prove the point, she tried to give up her chain to someone else.
I would like to give my recommendation to Pretty Pink. Okay.
Now that was bold, and I know the other girls weren't feeling it. But honestly, that was probably the baddest thing she did the whole season. The only reason she's sitting at number 7 is because she's a little less delusional than Akbar. Sorry, Jasmine, but this is as high as you're going. Coming in at number 6 is the girl known for being boring. And that's rich, considering she came on the show calling Scotty boring. We have Emma. Now let me say, Emma, talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Emma would have been lower on my list, but honestly, the newbie lineup is so disappointing that she somehow made it here. Now that I got my little read out of the way, let's talk about her potential. Emma seems like a relatable girl, and I respect that. But let's be real, this show, it's probably not for her. She gives background character energy compared to the other girls, and that's a tough sell in a cast full of chaos. One thing I will give her, though, Emma can hold her own. She's not the best fighter, but she can survive a scuffle. And she doesn't let anyone bully her, which earns her some points in my book. But let's not forget that she shot herself in the foot with the viewers when she called Scotty boring. And then she turned around and gave us nothing more entertaining.
Scotty, I feel like you just boring as and I feel like I'm here to replace you, not gonna lie. Hey, you trying to fight or what?
Emma, girl, you might have had a chance if you came in guns blazing. But unfortunately, the fans weren't here for it. Hopefully, Natalie won't be inviting her doppelganger back for another season. Sorry, Emma. Number 6 is where you stay. Coming in at number 5 is the girl who somehow manages to break all her fingers while fighting battles that don't even belong to her. Any guesses? Yup, it's Bad Dolly. Now let me just say, for some strange reason, Bad Dolly gives me Paula Hellens from BGC 10 vibes, even though they act absolutely nothing alike. Dolly definitely had everyone's attention during her Baddies audition. The way she fought had people hyped. And honestly, she started off strong on the show too. I'll give her props for standing behind Summer and not following the crowd to gang up on her. That was a good look. But let's talk about what went wrong. Dolly started strong but fell off when it came to her scuffle with Pretty P. She just didn't bring that same energy we saw during her audition.
Stop talking to me, bro. Oh, bitch. Fuck them hoes. They weak as fuck. Stop spraying that shit, bro. Bitch, it worked. That shit's strong.
And while she had the potential to be a fan favorite, she ended up making her entire storyline about Summer and Summer's beefs. Nobody really understands where this strong connection with Summer even came from. It was cute at first, but at some point, it got annoying. And let's not forget the fingers. Bad Dolly broke almost all of them in fights that didn't even involve her. I mean, girl, we get it, you stand on business. But was it worth it? All that being said, Bad Dolly still has potential. She's got the energy and the drive. We just need to see her bring more of her own storyline to the table. Right now, she's giving sidekick vibes, and I want to see her shine on her own. Guess we'll have to keep watching to see if she can deliver. But for now, Dolly, number 5 is where you're staying. Coming in at number 4, we have the girl who's equal parts hilarious and absolutely exhausting. Any guesses? Yup, it's Summer. Now let me just say Summer was originally going to be in my top 2, but she lost major cool points when she decided to pick on Slim after Slim came back as Rolly's assistant. That was unnecessary, and honestly, it hurt her placement. Summer is like a roller coaster. One minute she's entertaining and fun to watch, making you laugh at everything she says, and the next minute, she's straight up annoying. But one thing I'll give her, she has no fear. She doesn't care if she gets beat up or tossed around, and in its own weird way, that's kind of admirable. Like, at least she's not afraid of anyone. Let's talk about that baddie chain though. Summer is working overtime for it, but sometimes it's just too much.
And I won't do
You
that
are not
again.
going to come in
And I
here because you're going to
promise,
get
I
the
tell you,
fuck
I won't
out.
do that again.
Okay, so and that's why I said
You're
you're going to get out.
Watching her can be a little draining at times. That said, she's got this undeniable charisma that keeps her entertaining. In a way, she reminds me of a more bold Judy from BGC Season 7, always the center of attention, whether you love her or hate her. What really keeps Summer high on this list, though, is her loyalty. She stands 10 toes behind the people she likes and is the ultimate personal hype girl for her friends. But if she doesn't like you, oh, you'll know. And we'll never hear the end of it. Summer, you're a lot to handle, but there's no denying your presence on the screen. For that, you're holding down the number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3, we have the baddie who didn't sell me at first, but ended up proving why she deserves this spot. Pretty P. Now let me be clear, Pretty P isn't this high on the list because she's some amazing fighter. Because she's not. She's here because of her maturity, perseverance, and her ability to stand on business. Pretty P doesn't let anyone punk her or bully her around, and you can tell she walks with a lot of self-respect. One moment that stood out was when Tinkerbella tried to sun her by telling her to shush and actually expecting her to stop talking because Tinka said so. Pretty P didn't back down. She stood her ground and made it clear she's not here to be disrespected. But what really sealed the deal for me, and for the viewers, was her fight with Bad Dolly. Pretty P held her own in that fight, and some would even say she won completely. That moment showed everyone that Pretty P isn't someone to mess with. She's always ready to defend her name, and I respect that. She's proven herself to stand on her own 2 feet, and she's shown that being a baddie is about more than just drama. It's about knowing your worth. Pretty P, you've earned your place at the number 3 spot. Definitely a baddie. And just like that, we're down to the final 2. Whoa! We've gone through a list of baddies who brought drama, looks, and a whole lot of something this season, but only 2 can stand at the top. Now, these 2 ladies, they have proven time and time again that they are the moment. They've fought, they've stood on business, and most importantly, they've dominated the screen. Love them or hate them, you felt their presence every time they showed up. And let me tell you, making this decision was not easy. Both of these women had some of the biggest moments this season. They gave us fights, they gave us personality, they gave us reality TV gold. But at the end of the day, only one can take the crown, and one has to settle for second place.
America's Next Top Model is...
Just kidding. So coming in at number 2 is the baddie known for being unhinged, unpredictable, and quite frankly, a big bully. The one and only Miss Ivory. Now let me keep it real. I'm not a 100% fan of Ivory. On my screen, sis lacks an extreme amount of emotional intelligence, and half the time, it looks like she's just ready to pop off for no reason. But for the sake of this already low vibrational show, it makes sense that she's in the top 2. Ivory stands on business. Everybody fears her because of her fighting record, and if she believes she's right, she's gonna stand 10 toes on it, even if it looks absolutely crazy to the rest of us. One thing I do appreciate about Ivory, she's not afraid to stand up to the OGs. Now, we don't know yet if she'll ever step to Natalie, because let's be real, that comes with consequences, but we do know she's the girl that nobody wants to push buttons with. Even Natalie wasn't ready for that smoke.
Who the fuck moved the fucking name tag?
We all did.
No, like who specifically took it? Because I'm not gonna lie, I need that. Like no cap. Like I wanna fight whoever the fuck moved the name tag.
We all moved
Ellie,
it.
you're laughing, but I'm so fucking for real.
What are you mad at?
No.
Girl, be for real. It's clear Nat didn't want any pressure with Ivory and tried to finesse the situation. Because if you have the CEO of Baddies shook, you have to make it to the top 2. Now, if this were a ranking of my favorite newbies, this list would look completely different. But this is about who ran the show, and Ivory definitely earned her spot. Number 1 for a reason is the girl we thought would just be a pretty face, but ended up proving to everyone, including Ivory, that she definitely packs a punch. The one, the only, Big Lex. Big Lex takes the crown with no debate. She's fearless, she's a heavy hitter, and she's made it very clear that she is not easily pushed around. If you test her, she will pop her shit. And let's be real, she's been proving that all season long. Now, I will say, her decision to come for Jayla over last season's drama, a season she wasn't even on, was questionable. Very questionable. Especially considering Jayla was fighting someone with racist tendencies. Like, girl, what are we doing? But if we're talking overall impact, Lex has made it clear that she is always going to defend her name. She fought Ivory so many times, and every fight was either a draw or a win. She hasn't lost yet. She even got Ivory ducking smoke. And if you know Ivory, that's actually shocking.
Freaking legs come out. Bonnie, wrestling suit. Like, oh, she's ready to eat. No, I'm alright, what is it? Alright. Oh, I walked outside, I see Ivory, and she knew what time it was. You just drink at me. I gotta get on.
It's disappointing that Lex hasn't gotten her baddie chain yet, because if anybody's been proving themselves, it's her. She's been, as the baddies say, popping her shit. She also happens to be one of my favorite newbies this season. I hope she continues to stay true and authentic to herself as the season continues. And that's a wrap, Fatalettes. We've ranked, we've shaded, we've given the girls their flowers and their rights. Some baddies stepped up, some flopped, and some, well, they're probably still trying to figure out why they were even on this show. But one thing's for sure, Baddies Midwest is giving us a lot to talk about. Now, do y'all agree with this ranking? Or are y'all about to drag me in the comments? Let me know who you think should have been higher and who should have been lower. And if you're feeling bold, drop your own ranking down below. Once the season officially ends, we might need to make some adjustments to this list. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because baby, we are just getting started. Until next time, stay tuned, stay fabulous, and I'll see you at the next video.